Most people don't realize that it is the fear that tomorrow will not be the same as today that drives them to live their life. They don't realize that it's the fear that tomorrow will never come that precisely motivates the value of life as we know it. Much like Singapore achieved their Singaporean dream and went out like warriors of Malaysia's back door, their logic completely went out the back alley in this debate. Why? They had a very simplistic conception of what life and death meant, especially from Kahau. He thought this was a nine-gag debate where the only principle they had to prove was YOLO. That's not true. The fundamental assumption that they made in this debate was that the world would change just because people were immortal. They alleged that quality of life would increase, that people would suddenly become humanitarian, that society would suddenly change, that societal pressure would suddenly no longer exist, but that was something they never even asserted. They never proved that point, they never even asserted it, and that's why they fell. Because their entire case was premised upon the fact that society itself would change just because people were immortal. But what they really brought to us was this truism. We assume that people will have a better quality of life, no thank you. Therefore, living longer gives you a chance to achieve that. Yeah, sure. If you premise everything upon the fact that the quality of life increases and suddenly society has massive change, of course it's a truism to say that you have longer time to enjoy these benefits. The point is that they needed to prove to us why people becoming immortal would achieve those societal benefits. That's something that they never proved. 5 points of rebuttal before I move on into my substantive. First idea, no thank you. You don't have enough time to do what you want. Okay. Firstly, Sid already told you, it is precisely because you don't have the time that you are motivated with urgency to life itself. But even if they don't want to accept that, here's the second level of analysis. Under their side, people would never truly specialize and pursue what their passion truly was. We would never gain specialization because under their paradigm, they create a world where people are confused because you have all the time in the world apparently to decide whether you want to be a lawyer or a doctor. Secondly, and this was Ruben's 20 second substantive at the 7th minute, that it helps humanitarian causes. Incorrect. I'll be getting to this in my point mostly, but briefly, it was largely premised on the fact that you no longer have to be selfish. Incorrect. The very fact that people contribute to charities, that people give back to societies, is because they know that their life is coming to an end and they want to give back to the circle of life that is perpetuated by death. Under their side, people never do that. You are selfish because all your resources have to be kept for an eternity. That's the harm under their side. Third point of rebuttal. You achieve discovery of the self. Again, very flawed. Look, if I can't discover myself in 80 years, why would I be able to discover myself in 160 years? They never ever proved that. They never told us why immortality would enable discovery of the self. In fact, I really pity him. I understand why he can't discover himself if his girlfriend judges his worth by his ability to buy a car. But unfortunately, that's not the way that most people operate. In fact, discovery of the self is precisely motivated by the fact that you don't have all the time in the world to do it. That's what we get on our side. Fourth point of rebuttal, and this I love the most. Thank you. You told us this was a robbery of life. Firstly, I don't see who robbed life, since everyone loses their life unless you say that God robbed your life. But secondly, we talked about birth conditions like AIDS. Very good. This is very good for our case. Ruben ran away from my POI. He said that this wasn't a debate about whether they were healthy or whether they weren't going to be in prime condition forever. Yet he comes up here and characterizes things like AIDS. Look, there's only two possibilities. Either you live with AIDS forever, in which it's morally reprehensible because your life is a living hell for all of eternity, or secondly, and this is the worst part, even if we assume that you're in prime condition forever, you are going to perpetuate societal structures, you create a static world because the world never changes and progresses. Society always stays the way it is. Final point of rebuttal, you progress beyond materialistic motivations. Incorrect. Precisely because you live forever, you want to have a good life forever, you are more inclined to become materialistic because that materialism will promote a good life for you for all of eternity. Before I move on to my substantive points, I'll take you.
Children often have no conception of their own mortality, but that's when they are the most happiest and the most motivated to achieve their goals. You think this will be the same for any mortal being?
No, it's different. Children don't have conception of mortality because they generally don't have conceptions of anything. It's when you achieve conception of what your life means, that's when you truly are motivated to achieve life and the actualization of your life because you have a limited time to do it. Two substantives today. Firstly, how you create a static world. I'm going to be analyzing the unchanging status quo from 3 points. Firstly, in terms of politics, second, economics, and third, commitment and love. Yes, love. Now, under politics, can you imagine a world where people like Robert Mugabe live forever? Or God forbid, Dato Sri Najib Tun Razak. It is precisely in that kind of world where the very societal structures that pervade society would be able to be entrenched forever. Things would never change because society itself would be entrenched to the point where it never changes, it's static, because their world creates a situation. Even if we take their best case scenario and assume that everyone is in prime health forever, it is precisely in that condition that people will never retire. That people who are power hungry and power crazy will want to perpetuate their legacies forever. That's the kind of societal change that they don't want to create. Secondly, in terms of business and economics, this is precisely harmful for the simple reason that innovation never occurs. No, thank you. Because you create a world where there is no need for progress, where there is no need for changing of the guard, where there is no need for innovation. You perpetuate structures that already exist. Pre-existing conditions will never be improved on. In fact, you perpetuate the very legacies that we want to change, but you never change it. Thirdly, in terms of love and commitment, when you make a vow to someone in marriage, it is until death do you part. People will be less likely to make commitments in the long term if they are unsure of how long the commitment is going to be. This is precisely the value that we get through death that they cannot get because they are immortal forever. What is the second level to this point? You remove the willingness to learn. Why would I, as a child, have an incentive to learn from my parents if I didn't know that I would someday have to take their place and continue their legacy? Why would I, as a student, have a legacy to learn and continue the job of my teacher if I knew that my teacher would be there forever to teach me that y equals to mx plus c? That's the kind of situation that they create because people don't have an incentive to learn. Final level to this point, you drive people insane. Ruben correctly told you that there is a difference between living and being alive. What they are doing is creating a situation where you are only living, but the time in which you are alive is so short because your conception of life is limited. People will get bored. That is human nature. Look, even in real life now, people want change after 5 years, after 10 years. That is human nature. Under their side, the change never happens. You make people sick of living. You create a situation which is abhorrent because people now lose all conception of the value of life. They lose what life means. For all those reasons, because we create a world in which death and life are like yin and yang, we complete the circle of life. We are very proud to oppose.